It's the Ed Lover Show and it's Power 105.1. Good morning, everybody. I have one of my favorite artists in the building with us right now, Malika.
Yes.
Yes, one of the young ladies that I am so happy to see her triumphant return to recording because we've been beaten in the head with so many non-singers lately that it's finally nice to hear somebody who can actually sing, and I've known her for a long time. Monica's here, y'all. Monica is here.
Morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, you took a lot of time off.
Yeah.
We were really mad about that, too.
I
But
had
we
two
understood.
babies in 2 years, so
Yeah,
I
you
really
did.
didn't have a lot of options.
Right.
But I did work, in a different way. I was still kind of traveling around. I performed up until about a week before I had the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that, performing and carrying and at the same time?
It was easy. It didn't feel any different. I got pretty lucky both times around, so
So you had easy pregnancy?
yeah, I did.
Now, how do you feel being a mom of two? Like, how was that change from the old Monica to who Monica is now as a woman?
Oh, wow. Big changes. I think I'm just more conscious of what I do. I'm more conscious of what I bring around me. I cut out all the extra people you used to see with me when I was 14, 15, 16, 17. It's over now. I have a purpose and I understand it a lot better. So it was good for me.
How did the people feel about being cut off, though?
Probably not good, but I would think that they would know why.
Right.
You grow and you grow up. You live and you learn. So we don't really have anything in common anymore. I could still kick it because nothing different about me.
Right.
But I just knew it was time for me to do some things that were a little more positive and just kind of create a little more structure.
Right.
Around.
When did you look down at your children and go, wow, I am like totally responsible for these little people right here?
Well, see, the difference is I was kind of doing that as I was pushing each time. Like, yo, this part ain't easy. The rest can't get any easier. So, no, but I think it's an everyday thing. I mean, I'm only 29, but it's the 15th year in the music industry. So it's very obvious to me when I look at them and I see them repeat things I say, whether it's good or bad. It just brings a consciousness every day.
Right. 15 years in.
This year, this June.
This June is 15 years.
That's a long time.
What do you count as
Not
a
even
starting?
30.
Yeah. What do you count as your starting point?
Well, I didn't count the starting point until the single dropped in 1995, just one of them days over backseat of my Jeep LL.
That was 1995.
Yep.
Good God! Wow. Wow, that's
Yes.
a long time ago.
That's a long.
And you were just a little baby then.
Yes.
What have you learned? What's the most important thing, if you had somebody said, Monica, what's the most important thing you learned in those 15 years about the business part of it?
The business part of it, I would have to say, is that you really do determine your own destiny. Like, your knowledge is basically going to determine your wealth. The less you know, the less you will keep, not the less you'll make. Now, you can still make 30, 40, 50 million, but it's the less you will really keep. So I think learning about the money, learning about what, a lawyer meant to have a lawyer separate from the record company's lawyer, all of these little things that, all of the small fine print,
Right.
that
Not to accept the lawyer that they recommend for you.
Right.
You should use this guy.
You should have your own people,
Yeah, your own separate people.
your
and-
own separate
How
entities.
hard is it at this point for you as an artist that's been successful to control your product or what you put out into the marketplace?
You have to be prepared to fight, at no particular point. A lot of times, I always tell people I'm not a rapper, I'm a realist. Like, rappers make it seem like they control everything, and you have some that do, like you got your 50s and your Jay-Z's. But ultimately, when you're signed to a major label, everybody has to come to an agreement because there is somebody that controls everything else.
Right.
So on the real side of it, sometimes I may spend 6 months explaining why I think a record is the right record. And ultimately you have the end result, which the people hear only 3 minutes of.
Right.
But, sometimes you spend a while fighting, just saying what you know is right for you. Especially like my last album, Beat Drop should have never been my first single.
You didn't think so?
Absolutely not.
Well,
No.
I didn't think so either.
We did it for a mixtape.
No, I really didn't think so. Because I didn't think it was you. I
Yeah.
didn't think it represented your talent.
See, it represented where I was from, which was why we did it for a mixtape for Atlanta, for So Def.
Right.
And I think it felt fresh and new in the office building because they weren't in my city. But in my hood, it was done 300 different ways.
Right.
I just did it to pay respects to where I was from. And when it was chosen for the single, I pretty much said, okay, I'll support the decision. But the great part about that is that this is not my first album with them. When I met them, I was 12 years old.
Right.
So it was something that we now say, okay, we made a mistake, and it was a good learning experience for me. I never back down now. Never.
Absolutely. Monica's in the building with us. In 6 minutes, we'll play the new single from Monica, Everything to Me, and we'll talk about the second season of her reality show.
Wow.
We got to talk about that. It's the Ed Lover Show, y'all. It's Power 105.1.